was quietly protective of my heart to reassure that I couldn't break to pieces and be left alone once more. If you hadn't been so patient, you'd be easy to. And now I stand here calling at your door. Oh, now I stand here calling at your door. Yeah, I'm yours. Anywhere you
Good
want.
early morning from us to you guys from the Max Life. I wanted to show y'all a hack that I have been working on since last, I guess it would be summer. Every time I make butter, I stick the buttermilk in the freezer, and this is why. I pull it out and I use it to do things like cook with. When I made French toast this morning, it just keeps us from using so much of our fresh milk, because on really any given day, we drink a gallon of milk a day, which is why we milk our cows, because the kids go through so much milk every single day. And when I make something like French toast or pancakes or biscuits or anything along that line that requires me to use milk, it is best, in my opinion, to whip out the buttermilk. It's still absolutely wonderful to use in cooking, and that saves my fresh milk. I'm also making a topping, and this is just strawberries from right off the farm that I have put in the freezer that I drizzled a little honey over, and I'm going to cook those down, and we're going to top our fresh bread off with some strawberry jam. We had a lot of major storms blow through last night. Thankfully, there was no major damage. We didn't have any major damage, but I'm not gonna go all the way down there, but I'm gonna walk y'all and show y'all one of the main things that we had happen here that is going to be troublesome for us in the future. The wind is blowing pretty hard out here, so I'm going to talk as loud as I can. That flow of water is not typically there. If y'all see it coming out from our pond up there, it's channeling all the way down and coming into this little creek that goes out. That is not a heavy creek. It really never has been, but our dam broke because of the amount of flooding that we got last night. We actually have had that dam fixed at least twice, I know, since we've been here, and anytime we get major flooding, kind of like we got last night, it always seems like that the dam just cannot hold that. So the dam busted out last night and is going to basically put our pond probably pretty much in a bind again. We had kind of gotten it filled up from having some work done to it this past summer, but now that it has blown out again, I just don't know what that'll look like. We will have to get the guy back eventually to look at that and see what we need to do from there. I am in our storage room right now gathering up these towels in Juliet's pool that I have her in. She comes in here. I put her in here every night to sleep because she is expecting babies during the day. She's in and out of her kennel, kind of roaming around the farm. Next week it will be more of a park it, because she is going to be getting closer and closer to the time that she's due. But I do come in here every couple of days. I have her some blankets and towels that I just lay out here, and I'm basically just gathering those up every couple of days and washing them so that she'll have a clean bedding in here. It is early morning, and now we have to go kick off school. Okay, so scratch that on starting school for just a minute, because I realized that I didn't have any more butter, so that means I'm gonna make butter. Now, what I'm doing right now is something a little bit different. This is my cream separator, and we have ran some milk through this before, but it just never was right. So after a lot of extensive learning how to use this thing, I am going to try to run, we have almost 2 gallons of milk over on the other counter that I'm gonna get and bring over here in just a minute. And I'm gonna try to run it through here. Now, normally I would just skim the cream off the top and make my butter, and just whatever cream was left in the bottom, I would just leave. But because we're calf sharing with the baby, he takes most of the cream from mama. So that only leaves me with a little bit of cream, which means I need to get all the cream I can, and the only way that I can do that is to literally run it through a cream separator to get all of the cream out so that I can use it to make butter. A lot of working parts, and the drum that's in the bottom is like a really big deal. So in order that I had to learn how to do this was just a big thing in itself. Okay, y'all, so I've done all the things. I have it set up. I have ran some warm water, really warm water through there just real quick, because they say that it does best when all the working parts in there are warm. I did go ahead, this was our milk. I had it was about up to here, so almost 2 gallons, which I'm just going to bring this back over there, because as my milk comes out on this side, I'm going to re-putting it back in here to re-put in the refrigerator. And this is actually would be best to do this right when it comes out of the cow and your machine is warm, but obviously Colby milks way before I can handle all of that. So I just put my milk over here on warm, just enough to bring it up to really room temperature. It needs to be a little bit warmer than that, but I'm just going to bring it up to room temperature, and we're going to put it through the machine and see how it goes. Well, this was a total epic fail, to say the least. Maybe I just didn't have my milk hot enough. I've told y'all we've only done this one time, and that was literally right when the machine came to us. And I mean, we paid a lot of money for this, and as you can see, we're not getting any cream on this side. Nothing is coming out. Oh wait, look, there's a little bit. Maybe I need to adjust the consistency. I did hear somebody say one time that they said it's literally like making butter already in the machine. So maybe I just need to learn how to adjust my consistency of it. Right now, I feel like it was an epic waste of time. I have wasted like 45 minutes of the day, and I'm still playing with milk in this machine and don't have nearly enough cream to make butter, so I'm really bummed about that. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell y'all where we're at. You do see that a little cream's coming out. I did accidentally spill a little bit of milk in there with it. Now, I will say this about the whole machine. A couple of things. First, it did do its job, okay? So it's not like it didn't do its job. It did do its job. However, I'm going to do a couple of things different next time. I'm going to heat the milk a little bit more, and I'm going to, you can adjust the thickness of the cream on this, so I'm going to do that as well. Maybe partly of it was my fault. I don't know. So far, I'm not extremely satisfied. I could have literally saved myself a ton of time, skimmed the cream off, and had butter. I've wasted a lot of time. I have very little cream, and I'm not going to have butter, so I feel like this was a total disappointment. And the cleanup is wow, the cleanup is a mess. So I am a little bummed about this. I'm gonna do things a little bit differently next time to see if that helps. I'm not saying this is gonna be my last time to try to use it, but I had like almost 2 gallons that I just ran through, and I'm still not gonna get any butter. So I am pretty bummed about that. So very disappointed in that, but I wanted to show you what I was talking about. Adjusting this little thing on my cream separator will actually adjust the thickness of the cream. So I still have some working to play. I still have some working to do to play around with the machine and try to learn it a little bit better now that we're milking again. And when I tell you cleanup is a mess, this is why. This drum has to come apart every time, and it has got lots of working parts in here, and all of these have to be washed every single time. So again, this is the cream that I got, which I know that if I would have skimmed that off, would have been a whole lot more than that. Out of this much milk, now y'all, this is a, let me just show you, put in perspective of me holding it. This is a 3-gallon jar, and I just ran almost 2 gallons through that. So definitely have some work to do on my end. If it doesn't get any better than that, I will definitely not be keeping this machine, because what I have done in the past has worked for me, but I did want thicker. Really the reason, which today I just needed to make butter because I don't have any butter, and now I still don't have butter, but really my main thing is I wanted to get this for this main reason, to have all cream for cream cheese and sour cream. I've made those before in the past, but both times I've done it, they have been a little bit more loose than I wanted them to be, even with trying to strain off. Thought, you know, if I can get just the cream, maybe that will make my life a little bit easier. I have lit something that you guys probably do not see very often. This was actually passed down to me several years ago. This was my great-grandparents, and I have not lit it in years, but to be completely honest with you, it does an amazing job heating. I have it kind of over in the corner, just out of the way. I'm just right here in the kitchen, which is just, you know, seeing distance away. I have lit this thing up. This is an old kerosene antique perfection indoor heater that actually was used a long time ago to heat these smaller homes that, like, for example, what my grandmother and great-grandmother was raised in. Very small homes that were made of wood that got cold real easy. But here it is actually putting out a lot of heat. This whole thing gets very, very hot, but you can see that I have lit it at the bottom. This little piece opens. I can adjust the wick here. It is really cool. It is an antique piece. I actually don't know what year model it is, but it's got to go back to at least the 50s or 60s, maybe even earlier than that. It is a Perfection, which is the name brand that they used back then. And like I said, I got it several years ago and did a little work on it and got it filled up with some oil and got the thing lit up, and I can feel the heat. Can you feel the heat? When you stand pretty close to it, you can, can't you? Yeah. Just don't touch it, remember, it's very hot. So pretty cool there. That's not something you see every day, but we did light that up. The wind is still blowing really, really hard outside. It's supposed to be blowing in our area. A really cold front is supposed to be moving through over the next couple of days. We do have our big fireplace going, which is over there. Yeah, it's hot, okay? Very hot. I don't want any. So one of the things that we have to do is make sure that our firewood is all in the back. We also go around and tend to all of the animals morning and afternoon just to make sure everything is okay with them. Us Mississippi folks are not used to weather that stays below freezing for a very long time. So we definitely have some major adjustments to do before that weather comes in. I hope that you guys weathered all the storms that just rolled through that is bringing this cold front in. I do know my heart goes out to Florida. I did see some footage of that early this morning of some damage that was done there, so prayers for everybody there as well. I hope that you guys stay safe and didn't get much damage. As I mentioned to y'all earlier, the only main thing that we know has happened this morning was the pond dam has given way in one area and we're losing a lot of water there. So we hope to get that fixed soon, but it is not anything major, anything that we complain about at all. So all that being said, thank y'all. Thank y'all for always tagging along with us on our journey as we go through the day and do things and show you really what goes on the homestead, from the butter process. And I should have just done what I always done, but y'all watched the epic failure there, as I would call it. That was definitely an epic failure, all the way from playing with antiques because that is something really cool here. I like to collect antiques. We like to go back to the old days. It is a really, really cool thing to do. And you guys see me do things like prep our shelves. So a lot goes on here. We like to share that with y'all. So thank y'all as always for tagging along with us. God bless. And happy Sunday.